The last question is, did the author use psychological control with her daughters, defined as a rather insidious form of control that potentially inhibits or intrudes upon psychological development through manipulation and exploitation of the parent-child bond? And then it says to use examples from the book and comment on their effectiveness. So I have 3 examples, and I'll try to make them brief because I know this video is kind of long. So one of the first ones is when Lulu was only 3 years old. Amy sits her down at the piano and asks her to play a few notes, just one finger at a time, play the note, play another note, play another note. And Lulu refuses. She won't do it. Amy knows she's capable of it. She's seen her do it before, but she won't do it. So Amy says if she's not going to listen and obey Mom, then she has to go outside. And they were living in Connecticut at the time, and it's like freezing. It's like 20 degrees outside and snowing. And Lulu insisted that she would stay outside rather than obey her mom. And so it was this dichotomy power struggle. And so there was love being withheld because Lulu wasn't obeying her mother. And it wasn't very effective because Lulu was very stubborn and refused to come inside even when Amy said she'd been out there long enough. So Amy had to eventually lose that battle, obviously, because she was worried about her daughter's health and overall safety. And so she brought her inside, but that was not a very effective tactic in that instance. Another example is how Amy would go about inspiring or encouraging her daughters to practice their musical instruments. So on page 28 it says, Sophia is recalling some of the things that her mom said to her as she was listening to her practice. So one was, "Oh my gosh, you're just getting worse and worse." The second is, "I'm going to count to 3, then I want musicality." And 3 is, "If the next time's not perfect, I'm going to take all your stuffed animals and burn them." So that was definitely the use of psychological control on her child to try and elicit a behavior that the mom wanted to see. By saying that she was going to take all of her stuffed animals and burn them, was a very negative way to go about eliciting certain behavior that she wanted. However, it was very effective, and Amy says so herself. Sophia would agree as well. It helped create an incredible pianist who performed at Carnegie Hall and was known around the world as a prodigy in piano. A final example I wanted to mention was once when the family went to Hungary. I think it was Hungary. I'm pretty sure it was Hungary. The family went to Hungary to perform for a museum night, as a cultural citywide museum night. They got into the city at 4 in the morning and went straight to music practice with a renowned, world-famous music teacher. And during this rehearsal, Lulu is jet-lagged, she's tired, so is Sophia, and the teacher starts hitting Lulu's fingers, telling her to pick them up on the violin, and starts correcting her form, and it's just really, really rude to Lulu, to the point where Lulu flees the room, bursts into tears in the hallway, and Amy follows after her. And in the hallway, Amy doesn't show compassion to Lulu. She guilts her into saying, "Look, we had to work really hard to get you to be able to perform at this event. Your grandparents are in there," which they were. They're family friends with the friend of the music teacher. You're gonna let them down, you're gonna let me down. And when that didn't work, it was just more guilt was used to try and coerce Lulu into going back into the practice, which ultimately was ineffective because Lulu refused to go in, and Amy had to go back in and explain that Lulu was mad at her not the music teacher, and apologize for her absence. So those are 3 examples of ways that psychological coercion, I guess, was used by Amy to her children. So overall, there are a lot of benefits to Chinese mothering. Sophia and Lulu were both pushed to the point where excellence was all they exuded. Their relationship with their mother definitely struggled throughout the book, though, and throughout their lifetime, because they at times felt like they were being pushed too much, and they had a hard time comparing themselves to their classmates and peers who weren't raised by a Chinese mother, and who got away with a lot more just lackadaisical things because less was expected of them. And eventually, Amy had to lessen up her Chinese mothering with Lulu because it wasn't effective for her. Lulu was too stubborn, and it wasn't healthy for Lulu and for her relationship with her mom and the relationship as in the family in general. So Amy was able to adapt and let go of some of the control that she had for so long. I hope you guys got something for that video. I'm sorry it's so long. I was trying to be concise, but clearly I wasn't. I'm going to post the answers, the text answers to the study guide questions, and you should read the book. It's great.